Hello Ronnie, I'm here. And hi Robin. So, I see there's a bunch of people watching and I can see the chat. Hi Tony, Diane, Susan, welcome to Amsterdam for a casual Amsterdam. And here I am. There we go. Voila. And hey, Shalom Ruth, welcome, and Trisha. So yeah, welcome to Amsterdam for just a nice casual walk. What I thought I would do today is start by the Western Church Tower. Hi Audrey. And then walk down through Dam Square to the old church as well and see if I can make it all the way to the Nieuwmarkt in an hour. It is a beautiful day, Tish, it's lovely. So, the reason I thought I'd start here is because for the first years, I've actually seen the Western Church Tower. It's eventually made it out. Hey Gary, Donna, welcome. From behind it's scaffolding. There's the Habsburg crown at the top. Oh, Donna, I am, thank you. There's the Amsterdam City crest. And actually there is a bit of scaffolding left at the bottom still, but you can't really see it from this angle. Look, I can sneakily get rid of the blue. Anyway, let's walk. So, oh, lovely day. Yeah, summer was late in coming, but it's being very agreeable at the moment. And it is getting a little bit chillier in the mornings and the evenings, I must say. But that's okay. As long as we have nice warmish days. It was about 25 degrees centigrade today, which is what? Help me, it's about 70 or something in Fahrenheit. Let's see, am I zoomed out? Oh look, how's that for a wide angle? Love it. It's definitely a lovely day and we haven't had any rain for a while, which is very pleasant. Beautiful boats everywhere. So tomorrow being Sunday and being nice weather, these canals are going to just be jam-packed. Hey Mary Ellen, welcome. Jam-packed with everyone on their little boats. Who knows? Maybe I'll push the boat out, literally. I haven't actually been on my little boat at all this year. I keep keeping it, not getting rid of it, thinking, oh, I'm going to do some live streams for you from it. And then it never seems to happen. I should just get rid of the thing. So here we are again, Western Church Tower. Yeah, I gotta do that. Gotta do that at some point. It's quite tricky with me doing it by myself because I've got to drive and hold the gimbal because Lee is too busy now for these sorts of things. Anyway. How is the boat? The boat's fine. The boat's fine. I actually cleaned underneath it the other day from in the water because it came out the water last year. I painted it underneath. So yeah, that was good to do a bit of preventative maintenance. This is the Prince's Canal, by the way, and it's so busy in town tonight. What I did is I walked here from the end point, so I've walked all the way across town. I couldn't believe how busy the centre was. Lee's fine. Busy, 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 skippering. Yeah, all these. If I could fill it with flowers. You know, the flower bike man, Warren, has started collaborating with a boat company and actually made boats which have kind of ringed with flowers. They're really lovely. Okay, let's see if I can get across the road here somehow. I was stunned to see the Western Church Tower again. Stunned, I tell you. Okay. Saturday evening rather, in Amsterdam. There was places to be. The flower boat man. Oh, I must tell him that next time I see him. He'll laugh. And here's the Western Church, built from about 1620 to 1630. So it's a Renaissance building, Renaissance architecture of the right period. And coming up here to the gay monument. I was stunned, absolutely. Stay at the gay monument here, the pink triangles, remembering or put here to commemorate in the memory of gay people murdered in concentration camps by the Nazis during the Second World War. And the one I just passed pointing to the world's first gay rights organization. This one here, this pink triangle, pointing to the Anne Frank house. And then, let me just show you this one for completedness, is pointing towards the National Monument on Dam Square. And we'll see that in just a bit. Here's the name of it. It always sounds a bit weird in English, but it's not in Dutch. Love the long windows like that with the big oval tops, yes. You know, so if that was a Gothic church, obviously those arches would be pointed, but they're rounded Roman arches because it's a Renaissance church. Oh look, sofa on the pavement. That's a really long sofa. My goodness. It's a really grubby sofa. Shall I tell you a shaggy dog story? It's a lovely evening for a walk. So if anybody's got any questions about anything Amsterdam related, just go for it. You can talk about anything on these things. Oh, look at the sun catching these buildings here on the left. Isn't that gorgeous? What did I say that was funny, Donna? Oh, that's so pretty. Wow. Love it. Fluffy pup, absolutely. Oh, Amsterdam is so pretty. You know, when I moved back here after being away for so many years, because I left in '95 and I moved back in 2009, for so many years, I was just blown away by the beauty of it, just cycling around. That was just all I could think of. I'm a bit used to it now, but I still think it's lovely. The plants on the other side, I'll show you in just a moment. There's some more here. And these are sheet piling sections with sand behind, put in to keep up the canal wall, because the canal walls are about to fall down. And to try and make them not so ugly, they planted plants in it, like this. And it kind of worked, didn't it? Look at this. Very chilled evening, going past my favorite pizza takeaway place. Ginny, hello, welcome. And Barbara. So yeah, here we are in the Lily Canal, the Leliegracht. So it really does work, you know, it does make them a lot less ugly. I'm having these plants in them and tulips in the springtime and all that. Whoop. Yeah, it'll take them, I think, about 30 years to repair all the walls that need repairing, and by the time they've done that, a whole lot more will need repairing, so it's just going to be an ongoing thing. Have you been to visit all your slices, Mark? Well, I can't remember where I put them all. You know, I should go and check the one on the Keizersgracht that stayed there for ages. Maybe it's still there. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I've got a couple of special slices. I'm going to do, I don't know, save them for an unusual tour. I have no idea where they all are. But hopefully to good, happy homes. Ah.
Par exemple, eux, je me demande quoi.
Yeah, definitely good for the insects. They have they've planted by the Nieuwmarkt, they've already made a point of trying to have ones that are really good for the bees and the butterflies and stuff. Yeah, that was a gorgeous shot. That's why I chose to walk in this direction, because I knew the sun would be behind me and make for some really pretty cityscapes. Good that people don't park their bikes on the sidewalk, isn't it? When does the summer tourist season start to wind down? Well, I guess in September. You know, with August being over, I think a lot of students and kids are back at school, so it does quieten down. And then September and October are really lovely months to visit, I think, because they're just a little quieter, but everything is still very pretty, and great time to come. And then it kind of peters out in November. I looked at my bookings for last year in November and had nothing, like one tour. And here we are on Leliegracht. No, Singel. I'm talking rubbish. Singel, the old moat, and that's the Lutheran church there in the distance. Let me zoom, 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 zoom. There you go, the Koepelkerk, the domed church, the old Lutheran church. Now, a conference center, part of the Renaissance Hotel. So. Yeah, there most certainly are boats that are Airbnbs, Ginny. Varying in price, it's quite expensive. There was, thank you for the coffee from someone, much appreciated. Hey, I love this view, look. Through this little alleyway here, you can see the spire on the new church, Square. How cool is that? There's a, how do you say? There's a limit that I read about when people rent out their places. They can't have more than 4 people staying. So if you're in an Airbnb, you can't come with 5. And actually I saw that in real life, because I gave a tour to a family of 5, and they had to have 4 in the B&B and 1 in the hotel opposite, because if the B&B person had let them have 5 and was caught, he'd lose his license to have a B&B. Check out these heels. You gotta love them. That's what I say. A seriously aggressive heel. Talk about power dressing. And here you go, a very stable heel. So where's the spire? Where's the spire? Yes, Susan. That's why I've kind of stopped with these canal belts at the moment, because look at these colors. Because I want to wait until the leaves are gone before coming back to the canal belt again. Oh my word. That's so nice. Don't you think it's funny the way they put these buildings up against the churches? That's something of a tradition in this country. Okay. Here's Mellie's cookie bar, my favorite cookies. And Mellie's stroopwafel, my favorite stroopwafels. Stroopwafels are truly Dutch, although these are kind of pimped up by dipping them in chocolate and stuff, which works a treat. Absolutely works a treat. And Mellie's is the best ones to go to. Definitely believe that. Here's the old post office over here. Very grand. But then, you know, communication is important. And then spinning around, we have what's now the Royal Palace on Dam Square, but started its life as the City Hall. They started building this in 1648, and you like that dish? 1648 at the end of the 80 Years' War, and they eventually finished it in about 1665. Great big grand building, big testament to the Dutch Golden Age, because they built this as a town hall when they were dominating global trade. And that was with the Dutch East India and to an extent West India companies and Baltic trade as well. You name it, they were trading. Red light cookies. Okay. So, you know, I said this was the City Hall. It became the Royal Palace when Napoleon, who was in charge here for a bit, made his younger brother Louis King of Holland, as you do. And he was fussy about accommodation until he thought, voila, that will make a charming palace. And he booted out the city council and he had it converted into a palace. Yes, it does need a good scrubbing. Where can we find some scrubbers in Amsterdam, I wonder? This is the new church. It actually started its life as St. Catherine's Church. And the old church started its life as St. Nicholas Church. But, you know, Protestants don't do saints. So when it became Protestant here, they needed some snappy names. And they were like, oh yeah, what about the old church and the new church? There you go. So this part of Dam Square is the part that's always been the square. You know, every town needs a square, and this was it. And then we're going to head across to that. Oh, everything's looking so pretty today. Got to go to the monument, but this is the city, the country's favorite department store, the Bijenkorf, which means the beehive. All these damn pigeons. It's illegal to feed them. It's illegal to sell pigeon feed, yet people sell pigeon feed right in front of the police and they do absolutely nothing. And it's a relatively new law. But check out these buildings here. So the department store here, and then the Beurs van Berlage there, one of the previous, the third stock exchange, and then Central Station all the way up there. So three very historic buildings from completely different architectural styles and periods. You know, I think pigeons are much prettier than rats. I mean, I have some that sit on my window ledge because there's a grapevine there. And when you just watch them, I mean, they are beautiful. Absolutely lovely. I just wouldn't want them sort of perched all over me, you know. I'm much rather a pigeon than a rat. Definitely. Unless it was a pet rat, of course. There's a big problem with pet rats, though, is they die after 2 years. They go and break your heart, you know. Right. Here's the National Monument on Dam Square. And remembering those who lost their lives during the Second World War. This is where the actual dam was of Amsterdam. And yeah, I had a pet rat called Gollum, actually. Anyway, so yeah, this is where the dam was. And either side of me, left and right now, are buildings in what was the river. So they did a lot of filling in of river to make buildings, like this one here, and like the Bijenkorf, and like that third stock market as well. That's kind of why they filled the river in way back in the late 1800s to build that. Thank you for the coffee, Joy, much appreciated. So now we're walking up a street called the Warmoesstraat. Warmoes is an old-fashioned word for vegetables. And this is actually one of the dikes or levees right along the river, the old river. A dike being a bank of earth, a man-made bank of earth. That kept out, God, that motorbike's noisy. That kept out the high tide. Because the tide came right up to the dam. Okay. Now, okay. All these people who don't realize that you actually walk on the right. Maybe they're all from England. We walk on the right here, and all these people are barreling down on me. Go to the other side of the road. So, if you're enjoying this and you could leave a like, that would be lovely. Then maybe it'll be promoted more and more people will watch it and I'll become famous. This very strange building here, kind of without the colors, is actually a parking garage. So a very profitable business. And here, I haven't been here for ages with you, is Amsterdam's most famous specialty store, the Condomerie. Condomerie because everything sounds better in French. So this is the condom store, opened by three friends in the 80s to take the taboo out of buying and selling condoms in response to the HIV and AIDS epidemic. There you go. And it's now something on the tourist trail because of the novelty ones that they have. Ta-da! Here we are. More novelty ones. We've got Statue of Liberty, Big Ben, hello. Who can find Nemo? It's got to be here somewhere. There we go, Nemo. Is that Simpsons? It seems so wrong. Anyway, oh, sorry. I'm just walking backwards into someone. So yeah, that's the Condomerie. Thought everyone in Amsterdam rode bicycles, not used cars, so why would they need a parking garage? No, people do bring cars into the city. Absolutely. It's very expensive parking there though. Some years ago it was like 50 euros a day. But bearing in mind it's 7.50 euros an hour for on-street parking, that's not too bad, 50 euros a day. It's probably gone up though. Okie dokie, so now, actually I think I'll carry on up this way a bit. Hello Agatha. So this street was one of the kind of really grotty streets in Amsterdam. Certainly decades ago, it was all potholes and cars. Can you believe it? Cars on the street, there'd be cars parked on the sidewalk. And now it's bikes only. And there were loads of coffee shops. Coffee shops read weed, but they closed down all of them in the street. There's still lots of cheap budget hotels and stuff, so I wouldn't stay in the street. It gets very noisy. And it's nice enough for walking down. And then just to our right here, and Wijde Kerksteeg, which means wide church alley, we get in the lovely evening sunshine, the Western Church Tower. Voila! Isn't it majestic? Isn't it grand? We're gonna easily make it to the Nieuwmarkt. Absolutely no problem at all. Last time we were here, maybe there were no trees. They were all blown down one night in a storm some years ago, and eventually they've got around to replacing them. And here's Belle, or Bella. She's a statue asking for respect to be shown to sex workers all over the world, because we are on the edge of the red light district. Here we are, Belle, or Bella as we say here. This church here, Tricia, is the old church called the Oude Kerk. So the one that started its life as the Nicholas Church and then got a new snappy, snazzy name. It is such a mess architecturally, and I'll talk about that from where we can see the whole thing. But before we get there, I just need to show you what I call the booby trap. In the ground, a sculpture put here by an anonymous artist, apparently just passing a comment on the red light district, saying it like it is, and nobody actually knows who put it there. Because there is a sculptor who was in the habit of placing sculptures anonymously overnight, often in Amsterdam. So. This is the oldest canal in town, and let me just see if I can tuck him over here. No, it's too noisy there. I'll show you the church from across the canal. While we're at it, looking up this canal, the Oude Zeedjik, I know, a mouthful, is a church on the horizon up there, on the skyline rather. And that is St. Nicholas Basilica. And that is the primary Catholic church of Amsterdam. But we do not have a cathedral because we do not have a bishop. What's all that for? Yeah, it's fraternity, sorority time. So it's these frat boys doing stuff and all their hazing stuff going around town. Here's what the noise is. Everyone knows them. Me included. No, it's not a demonstration at all, no. Okay, here's the church. Let's zoom out a bit so we got it all in. It looks much more cohesive from afar, but there's Gothic elements, Renaissance elements, Dutch classicism elements, and I'd say sort of Louis XVI elements as well. So it's just such a mishmash of styles. It's quite something. Okay. Now, you will see, peeking in the distance over there, some red light district windows, but it's pretty much the change of shift time. So there's nobody standing behind them. Excuse me, croaky. Thanks for the coffees, Audrey. Audrey. Thank you for a lot of coffees. It's very kind of you. And just to show you how mixed up Amsterdam is. Oh, look. No smoking cannabis in public. Otherwise, it would be allowed if this sign wasn't there. There, the red light district windows. There's a cafe called Quartier Poutin. And then to the left of it is a building with green stickers in the windows. And see there, that is actually a kindergarten for preschoolers. Did you not? Yeah, the bells are from the old church tower, where there is a carillon. And you know what I saw today is I saw that man in the boat who plays a musical instrument. And he sometimes plays a duet with the carillon, city's carillon player, who plays the bells both here in the Western Church and the Old Church. And then the guy in the boat comes along and they play together. It's great. I know, it's crazy, Robin, isn't it? But it's not compulsory to live here, so the people who live here aren't fussed about that. They actually tell the kids that the women are selling their kisses, which is kind of cute. If incredibly inaccurate, that's normally one of the things that's very much not on the menu. Okay, so there's the church, and let's just pan around here slowly. So much is behind scaffold at the moment. This is the hidden church in the attic, also behind scaffold. And here's a closer look at St. Nicholas Basilica. Okay, so thanks, Audrey. I'll do that. And I will take myself out for dinner tomorrow night. How's about that? I am turning tomorrow. Did you hear my age? I said I'm turning tomorrow. Oh, the years go around so quickly. Okay. Here's one of my favorite bits of canal here. It's always just so peaceful down here. Thanks, Donna. Thank Donna, I got your card. Thank you so much. And I know I keep banging on about it, but it's because I am crossing the old town. But this is the heart of the red light. This canal here. I normally don't try new restaurants on my birthday because it's the one day of the year that I can't write up the new restaurant as a business expense because of the tax laws here. So the legal drinking age is now 18. It was, up until a few years ago, it was 16 for beer and wine and 18 for spirits, and then quite recently it became 18 for everything. So very different from the US, huh? And here we are on the Zeedjik. Thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. I'll be 56, by the way. Oh my. And this is Chinatown. And here you can see that we really are on the dike. If you look over here, you'll see that there are 9 steps in a row. And that is the biggest difference in land height in Amsterdam. In the old town anyway, because this road here was always the highest point of the old city, a whopping 7 feet above sea level. Okay. Love spicy food, and there's this Sichuan restaurant chain. Yeah, it gets better. I'm pleased to hear that, Mary Ellen. You know, I'm loving the 50s. I really didn't think I would enjoy them. It took me about 2 years to get over turning 50, and I love them now. I just feel happier than I've ever been, which is great. Nice place to be. Here is a Taiwanese Buddhist temple. It's been here since 2000. It's the oldest one, and the biggest one in Europe. And it replaced a derelict park. And that was used by intravenous drug users, because we used to have a big heroin problem here. Actually, this street was known as Heroin Alley, and we don't anymore. It's gone, which is very, very nice. That means we have a whole lot less petty crime. Bicycles don't get stolen in the hundreds every day. And Goodness me, isn't it busy? These people ringing their bicycle bells, and they don't realize that the bicycles are meant to be the guests here on the street. Pedestrians have the right of way. Love this little place here, check it out. This is a cafe called Latte, and you can have like teas and coffees and stuff like that, and apple pie, and it's also a second-hand retro shop. So you can come in and buy some retro china. Or if you don't like the lampshade in your hotel room, I guess you could buy a retro lampshade. They have lots in there. You can't quite see them because the lights are off. I didn't see what the conversation was. Sorry, I lost the thread of it. Never mind. Okay, so, and you know this square so well, all of you, the Newmarket, but of course it's behind scaffold at the moment. Okay, it does my head in. The beautiful old city gate. Thanks, Susan, for the coffee. And look, we've got some, I think these are irises, yeah? I'm pretty sure they're irises. Who thought we'd even get some flowers? These lovely seeds. Some yellow ones. Line it up with a nice background. Beautiful. Oh, they're canna lilies. Okay, so they're not irises. I'm rubbish. Thank goodness I have all of you here. It's so rowdy here. I always kind of advise against coming to this area on a Saturday night. But I'll be gone soon enough. Yeah. I guess, no, they're not irises, because irises all, like lots of flowers grow out of one big piece, don't they? That's what irises do. It's amazing how small Amsterdam is. I mean, I've walked right across town. Amazing. So where shall we go to next? I think we can head up this way. Oh, it is a super fun city to visit. I love it here, obviously. Chose to live here. And, oh look, the 1980s. Irises bloom in the spring, okay. The 1980s, and a really ugly street here. A lot of the old buildings in the street were broken down to put in a metro line in the 70s, 80s. It was a shallow metro, so they broke everything down and they opened up the earth and they stuck in the metro, and then they closed it up again, and then they thought, how can we ruin the city? Oh, why don't we put in this architecture of this current period? So, yeah. Oh, it's just seedy. Yikes. So yeah, loads of cafes on the square. I actually come out to the square, to the cafes and stuff, as opposed to, I would never go to the Leidseplein or the Rembrandtplein, but the Nieuwmarkt, or the Nieuwmarkt Square. Yeah, it's a cool place to come and just cafe hop and hang. It's like a nice mixture of locals and tourists. And then there's this area to the right, which is called the Lastage. Lastage, I think, if I remember correctly, it actually means ballast. Ballast as in ballast for ships, because it was very much a harbour sort of ship, I think ship chandlers sort of area, that type of thing centuries ago. Right. Oopsie. They've actually been rebuilding this part of the canal for ages. And now they're done. And they've rebuilt this whole wall here. If you hear anything go splash and some choice words, that will be me with my phone. Yeah, I think Amsterdam's a great stop on a European tour. Good for quite a number of days, depending on what you want to do. And then down here, these lovely tucked away side canals. Oops. Also rebuilt, completely rebuilt. Blue sky. So behind these buildings here is the Zeedjik, the Chinatown where we just were. And there's a nice little secret. If I tell you, it won't be such a secret. The best ramen in town is in a little place up there, 4 flights up. When will it become dark? I think in about 9, if I remember correctly now. The nights are drawing in slowly. Maybe a bit after that, maybe 9:30, I can't really remember. So this is the Gelder Cicada. It's part of the U-shaped defense moat. And right up on the corner over there is a tower called the Westertoren. That's the one with the very pointy roof there. And that was a very sharp corner right at the edge of the old town with its defense tower. And in Old Dutch, a sharp corner is a schrei. S-C-H-R-E-I. So that's why it's called the Westertoren. The other part there, is part of Central Station, so that was a much later addition. It's also a play on words, Westertoren, because it sounds like the word for crying tower, and they say, legend has it. Do you remember that? I explained a few tours ago. As a tour guide, you can say whatever the hell you like, as long as you prefix it with legend has it. Legend has it that the wives and girlfriends, and who knows, maybe boyfriends, of sailors would go and wave goodbye to them, crying their eyes out from the top of the tower as they went off into uncertainty. Yeah, the catboat is right on the other side of this U. So this is the one top part of the U. On the other part of the top of the U is the catboat, or the poezenboot, as we call it. And here you can see they really are still working on this canal wall. Well, not the canal wall, they're onto the sidewalk now. Cool. And one day, the scaffold will come down on the Nieuwmarkt and we'll have this beautiful view again. Okie dokie. So, how do we do this again? That's how we do it again. Front. Camera. Okay. So, thank you so much for joining, everybody. And next week, I haven't got any tours up at the moment, but it's on my list of things to do tomorrow morning, is to list like the next probably 2 months of weekly tours. So they very much carrying on. The other side, yes, the other side. Let me see it from this side, and now we cross it, and we're going to see it from the other side here. Oh, isn't that interesting? Okay, anyway, I shouldn't tease my dear Dutch fellow countrymen, being a Dutchman now, you know. Okay, it's a pleasure, everybody. Thanks for joining, and there we go. You can take care all. I'm going to go home and have a beer. Okay, it's a pleasure, Ronnie. Thank you so much for joining, everybody, and thanks for donations if you're in the position to be able to make one. I do appreciate it. Bye bye, Tony. Thanks, and I will have a good birthday. And I've got a friend coming actually, and we're going to have dinner. So cool. Take care, everybody. Bye.